share your, I am Indore interview, like on
Yeah.
the brief what, like how long it was, what were the questions that they asked?
So the I am Indore interview was around 20 minutes, I guess, 20 to 25 minutes roughly. And I am Indore interviews are quite heavy on quant. So like they can give you equations or questions to solve impromptu right in front of them. That's it. And they also focus a lot of on my bachelor subjects that I had, like data science and algorithms and information security, such subjects. So if specifically for AM Indore interview, I would say that if one is a fresher, one needs to go well prepared with the bachelor subjects and also revisit all the mathematical concepts that we've had, like logs and equations and stuff.
Hello everyone and welcome to the brand new episode of GIBS. Today we have Shivani with us. She is from I am Indore and we are going to talk about her journey, her CAT preparation journey. What are the challenges that she faced? What are the studies that she applied and dealt with those challenges? So I welcome you, Shivani, in this video of GIBS. And please, introduce yourself and tell us about a little bit of your educational background and family background as well.
Yeah, hi Anand. Hi everyone. I'm Shivani Rao. And as Anand already mentioned, I'm from IIM Indore and I hail from Bhopal, MP. And I've done computer science engineering from Dehradun, Pune. It was around my third year or fourth year engineering while we were in midst of COVID that I thought of doing some internships. Now I started from a tech role in an online internship, but slowly it moved towards a more, with managerial responsibilities and such. So while I was doing that, it occurred to me that, I can manage this work and I would like to do this kind of work along the line. And that's why I thought of preparing for CAT and then giving the exam.
Absolutely. I mean, you talked about, the next question used to be, what motivated you. I mean, that's a good motivation for somebody, to have an on-hand experience and get to know that okay, this is the part that I'm feeling comfortable now, so I should pursue that. That's good. And now tell us about, your if you can tell us, your educational profile, 10, 12th, and graduation and 10%. It will be easier for audience to relate to.
Yeah, so I have like a 998 profile. So I've got 95% in 10 and 92% in 12. And my college GPA was 9.7 in the final year. And yeah, after that, the CAT percentile was 97.86, if I can remember correctly, because it has been long. I'm
Okay.
trying to be as accurate as I can. Yeah, so it was around these lines.
I mean, 97 plus you have talked about, no? 98, 97.
97%, yeah.
97. Yes.
97.86 to be more
Yeah.
precise.
97.8. So, for that good percentile, how much time did you take for preparation?
So I believe I started the preparation roughly in March beginning. Like so, it's 9 months. I was in my hometown only. So initially, I opted for an offline coaching, a local coaching in Bhopal itself, a very good one with very good teachers. And but after that, my colleges reopened, so I had to go back to Pune, and therefore, like half of my journey in the coaching was on offline and then online. So yeah, that was it. And then there are like once you start preparing for CAT, and once you're done with the material, that is like quant, DILR, and RC. After that, there are these test series that goes on for like months. Different coachings provide different test series online, and they're
Mm.
available to everyone as a resource. I found those very helpful because me being and from an engineering background and in another city and an online coaching, so there was no one around me that I could sit together and solve questions with. So that became like a kind of hindrance for measuring my own performances compared to the other people who were going to give the exam with me. So for if someone is stuck in a situation like that, then I believe opting for a test series is very helpful.
Yes. And, now, if you can tell us, what are the challenges that you face? I mean, out of those three part of CAT, DILR, quants, and verbal, which one of you find it challenging to prepare?
So quant was the okay easy part is what I can say. DILR was somewhat 50-50. Sometimes it was kind of easier, kind of medium to solve, and then sometimes we get a paragraph or a permutation combination question in DILR that is like mind blowing. You don't know where to start from. So those instances were the DILR, but specifically I guess RC took kind of significant time to get the hang of it because yeah, we don't study like after 10th. I don't think we have studied that heavy reading comprehension type material till we start preparing for
Yeah.
CAT. So that gap really shows.
Yes, actually. And, can you, refer us some study materials? Like, if you have any, coaching institute, online coaching that you have taken help from, or any study material open source, if you can suggest some study materials for us, that will be great help.
So like there are popular books that are available online. So I can't remember the name of them.
Mm.
Okay, but there are a lot of online resources. I mostly stuck to like Quora resources or blogs that people write online about their timetable or preparation or notes. And for the other part, I relied on the material that was given by the coaching institute. So I guess
Yeah.
while CAT is such an exam where it's not very content heavy, it's more about the pressure that's there while you're giving the exam and more about the comprehensive understanding of the subjects in general. So
Yeah.
that part is like the more you study regarding the exam pattern or the timetable that people follow, and the more you stick to that, the more comfortable you get with giving the exam in future. So I focus mostly on that.
Yes. And you already have, your offline coaching materials. So that's
Yeah,
another plus point. If you have, then you can use those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
if anyone is opting for, I'm so sorry to interrupt. If anyone is
yes,
opting for like an online coaching, I would suggest that they like get the materials with them and study
yes,
those materials because every coaching institute, be it small or big, provides material after a lot of research that they've done. Often I've seen a lot of students, holding a lot of books and a lot of material and studying everything
mm,
before the exam in very great intensity. I would suggest rather than that, just stick to the material that your mentors or your teachers give you and practice that
mm,
and focus more on the concept rather than large number of questions.
yes, yes, yes. Be, direct, be focused. I mean, if you studying the first chapter of, every single one of them, that's not every single material. That's not a good strategy actually. Pick a single material and stick with it. Yes, that's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
actually. Yeah, and after your preparation, you have, get your 97+%, 97.8 percentile. And now the thing is here that you need to be prepared. Now you have to prepare for CAT interview. You have to uh, contact with all the others, that other, like alum, if you have, or any connection
Mhm.
that you have. You might want to talk with every single one of them to get to know that from where I can expect that call, or from or whether or how to prepare for my interview. So this is the big thing, next big thing actually, after getting your 97.8% back. So
Yeah.
tell us about how did you prepare for your interview, and also mention us like how I am Indore interview was different than other IMS interview.
Okay, sure. So for me, actually, interview was the most difficult part of the whole preparation thing, rather than the test. And the bigger problem is that before the interviews began, I used to think that interview is the easy part and test is the difficult part. But then once you get one interview with the professors that are there, then you realize that interview is the most difficult part and the test was manageable. So yeah, the basic point of difficulty in interviews is that we are not certain on what they are going to ask us, and it can be anything. I've been asked shlokas from Sanskrit. I've been asked dances of India. I've been asked my favorite book writer. Everything from arts to science to airplane propulsion. Even though I'm not for aeronautics, I have been asked these
Okay.
questions. So, and there was a very funny sentence that I found while searching like on Quora and blog. It was like, what I typed, what is being asked in IIM interviews? I generally typed a very generic query, and there was one answer that said anything that covers the surface of the earth, anything that's under the sun covers a cat interview. So anything and anything can be asked, and
Mm,
so preparation was basically I went through my resume, I went through my experiences, and I revisited those concepts. Like if one of my internships was in user interface, user design, so I revisited the concepts because I done it way back. So I revisited it. I revisited my engineering subjects and hobbies. If in the hobby section you have written, suppose that
mm,
one person likes to sing, so that's not enough. We need to know what we like to sing, why we like to sing that, who is our favorite singer, because that can be asked in the interview. And if
mm,
we are, if we seem lost and unable to answer that question, it like kind of sends a message that we are not very, serious about it. We're not taking it seriously. It's just we've
yeah.
written it for the sake of writing it, and that does not give a very good impression.
Yes.
So knowing oneself is basically the best preparation one can do for an interview. I would suggest revisiting your resume thoroughly, top to bottom, everything, and whatever subjects one had in bachelor's. For work it's like whatever work they've done in the previous company, the project they've worked on. So that's pretty much it.
Yes, actually. And have you taken any help of coaching institute while preparation of your interview?
Yeah, so like the same coaching that I went to in Bhopal, the same professors there taught me and guided me regarding the interview process. So the first step there, my professor also said that the first step is, you need to make a story out of it.
Yeah.
Like what kind of a person you are. And it's a very abstract question to answer, especially when we are, in pressure of preparing and giving the interview in front of our potential professors in future. So yeah, it's an abstract question, but I would suggest to take one to take time while answering that question to know what you really
Yes.
like, what you really want to do, because like fake it till you make it will also work. But
Yes.
then I would suggest that if you can make it real, then that's kudos.
Yeah, actually. I mean, fake it till you make it. It's like a mantra when you are getting into IIM, any
Yes.
IIM. I mean, in the first 4 months, they will really started grilling you, and that's the only thing that you rely on. That
Yes.
I had to make sure that I know those things, and you have to, embody those things. Like, okay, this is the truth that
Yeah.
you have to tell it 100 times to yourself. And the thing is not that those things are not true, but the way that you say it
Hmm.
should look like that. Yes, you know those things, you have done those things, so that's very
Yeah.
important. Yes. And
And
yes, on the part of
yeah.
yes, just go on, and I have next question, please go ahead.
Yeah, so like as a fresher also a lot of time in the interviews the people would say that you might want to get a work experience before coming to an IIM, because if you don't
Yes.
know how the business works then how are you supposed to be studying business management?
Yes.
And that is definitely a very valid argument. But
Yes.
it's like that's where the fake it till you make it point comes into picture. So I am sitting there and I have to believe that no, I am ready for an MBA. I know how the business works, even though I haven't been a part of it, and I have to make them believe that.
Yes. Yes. Actually, I mean, many of the people I have known, the phrases, they are doing good actually. And the another question is, if somebody asks a fresher, why do you want to join us? What do you bring on table? So these are this kind of question you have to prepare it very well.
Yeah.
And at a point it might sound like, why you are asking me this? I am doing MBA to learn the business side of
Hmm.
business, to learn the management side of the business. That's why I'm doing MBA. But the prerequisites are very much required. Even if you don't know, do the sales inspection, find out the place or time where you have demonstrated those ability. And there are places where you have demonstrated those abilities. Just you need to find it, pick it, and modify those things in such a way that it looks like, yes, you have did
Yeah.
something over there. So that's very important. And could you share your, I am in their interview, like on
Yeah.
the brief what, like how long it was, and what are the questions that they asked?
So the I am Indore interview was around 20 minutes, I guess, 20 to 25 minutes roughly. And I am Indore interviews are quite heavy on quant. So like they can give you equations or questions to solve impromptu right in front of them. That's there. And they also focus a lot of on my bachelor subjects that I had, like data science and algorithms and information security, such subjects. So if specifically for IIM Indore interview, I would say that if one is a fresher, one needs to go well prepared with the bachelor subjects and also revisit all the mathematical concepts that we've had, like logs and equations and stuff, because they do ask that.
Yes, actually. And
How it was different from the other
mm,
interviews was like not very different because all of the interviews were like pretty much same. But I am in their interview was more easy go. There was not
okay.
a lot of related and their interview person to person.
Okay, now you have done your, you are now in I am Indore actually. You have cleared it, you have cleared the interview round, you have cracked the CAT, and after all those reviews staying, now we are finally in I am Indore. Congratulations to you. And
Thank you so much.
now, let's talk about your experience at I am Indore and divided it into two parts. The first 4 months and the next, or 5 months actually. Yes, 5 months.
So, like the initial 3 4 months are extremely hectic because we are from a very different, background and very different environment, and we come to this place where there are a lot of people with such bright minds, and like most of the people, like in our school or in our bachelors, we have been performing well most of our academic lives, and when we come here, it's like everyone has been performing well most of their academic lives. So that's where the difference is. But it was such a, such an experience, I would say. to be able to converse with such good people who have such great thinking. And it's hectic to manage because there are classes, then there is your summer internship preparation going on, then there is also adjusting to the new subject because coming from an engineering background, I knew I hadn't studied finance or accounting or operations or anything before this. So each and every subject was new to me, and it's a master's level course. So the intensity of the subject is also a bit higher. So academics will take time, your preparation, internship preparation will take time, and also adjusting in this new environment and system will take time because the grading differs. It depends a lot on the professor, and yeah, so first 3 months are like, you're fighting everything. You're fighting academics, you're juggling preparation and everything, and then settling in. So first 3 months are like that. Coming to the second part, it's like when you start to make peace with it. You
Yeah.
realize, yeah, you realize that you can't do everything everywhere at the same time. You have to make trade-offs. You have to make choices. Either you can be the person who is like, top 5 percentile or academically doing very well, or you can, try different case competitions and be that kind of person who's into more practical hands-on work. Or you can do both if you can manage the time well. So that's the time when you like try to make peace with it, and you are well equipped, with the system and everything. So you know how
Yeah.
the things are working now. So then I think after the first 3 or 4 months, after that one really tries to, starts to see what a
Mm.
B school actually is. That's when it starts to sink in, and that's when you start observing. And that's also when the time comes to choose on what kind of student or manager you would like to be in future, and you make
Yes.
choices accordingly.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a good summary of your entire B school journey, actually. And from the next year, you guys have to choose that which subjects you want to do your major in, whether in
Yes.
HR, finance, marketing. You have to select your electives and all. And that's the another must be 11 months. Yes, at max 11 or 12 months is going to be that. And now if you can summarize that entire discussion of your entire CAT preparation journey and give us some advice or tips or tricks that you utilize while your preparation or that you used in your interview round. So it will be a great summary for somebody to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So I mentioned RC as being like heavy and a bit difficult part out of the three subjects. I believe that a very simple trick as reading the newspaper every day without skipping can be very useful. Like when you start the CAT preparation, everyone is advised to read the newspaper for current affairs knowledge and stuff. But apart from that, I think what I would have done if it wouldn't have been emphasized that much is that I would have read the newspaper for about like a month or two, and then I would have left it because I'd be like, array, the exam is like 9 months back. The current affairs would change by then. Why to read the newspaper now? Like that. But thank God I did not do that. And I was consistent in reading regularly. Just random things, read novels, books, whatever. But do read the newspaper every day. And for subjects that you find a bit difficult, I would suggest being consistent in practicing a small problem, but every day. So like if one finds quant difficult, we can just practice 10 questions from a single topic or from different topics, but make a rule to get up in the morning or whichever time one is comfortable with and practice them daily without skipping, because over time it will prove beneficial. Like it will be helpful in a long run. Like if you have 6 months or 9 months of preparation, then this is a good tip that one can use.
And any tips or tricks on the part of interview, like
Oh,
the first things when you go inside the interview, what are the things that you need to prepare yourself for?
so, like for an interview, there are basic things that are there, like dress well and body language, posture, language, the way you speak and stuff like that. But more importantly, believing in, like we already discussed about the fake it till you make it thing.
Yeah.
So believing in what you're saying is very important, and believing it with the whole heart, not just for the sake of saying, but like believing what you're saying and making the other person believe. That's the most important thing. Stay confident, eat well, please. All interview time, everyone is traveling with suits in their hands, going one place to another. It's very hectic. So maintaining health during that time is also important. Although that's the last of our concern, but it's one of the important things.
Actually, I mean, with that, I would like to thank you, Shivani, for joining us. You have shared a whole lot of valuable insight with us from the starting of the CAT preparation journey to the end of it while getting into IIM Indore. And that's all from our side. You guys, if you have any question or comments you want answer about, you can feel free to drop those in comment section. And if you like this video, please do share with it with your all CAT friends who are still preparing for CAT exam. And that's all from our side. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye and Jai Hind.